What up, what up, what up? It's Jay's Cuts in the building. Just here, beyond Jay's Cuts. Doing the thing, put a little talk and conversation to the day. Got a great question today. The question is, and we're going to talk here with my man Jay, and we're going to ask the question. The question is, what do you do after you burn a bridge? Let's talk about it. What do you think, Jay? If you burn a bridge, what do you think? How do you get back with a person after you done burned the bridge?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, first and foremost, you gotta work on rebuilding that trust.
Mm-hmm.
The trust that person or person is gonna have in you to want to continue to do or pick up where you guys left off. What you guys were doing. So you gotta rebuild that trust, and then proceed that way.
So do you think once you burn a bridge, do you think it will be hard to really mend the bridge? Like, will the bridge really be broken, or will it really be burnt, or will it just be a for now thing while somebody's upset? Do you think in totality, do you just think it's over with? Like, you can't be rebuilt, it can't be put together, it's just over with?
So I'm not gonna say it's impossible.
Okay.
But I will say, once you do burn a bridge, more than likely you can't get that back. For a lot of people, once that bridge is burnt, like there's no turning back. But there is a possibility. You're gonna have to provide some type of value for that person, and they're gonna have to see that in you, and that you really want to amend that relationship and possibly reestablish that bridge. But from my experience, once somebody burns a bridge with me, 95% of the time I'm kind of done. So
yeah, you got to tell the truth there. We can't be in here playing.
Yeah.
You got to tell the truth, because somebody done pissed you off and got on your nerves.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, if they did something to you concerning money, or they bit you, they lied on you or did something like that, then it's very hard to say that you're going to allow that bridge to come back and be rebuilt. Because a lot of feelings is involved.
Most definitely.
So I guess the other question is, in feelings, like, how do you move away from your feelings, and what is it that you use? What are the tools that you can use to tell yourself, I want to build this bridge back, but I don't want to allow myself to be hurt? Case in point, you might have a woman who might want to get back with a dude. She sees his good intentions, but he burnt her so many times crossing that bridge that it's just hard for her to try, even though she wants to a whole lot. She wants to see this thing work.
Well, I think in that situation, she's got to see the effort in him, that he's really trying to reestablish that bridge. It's unfortunate. It's pretty much all gonna be on him. So he's gonna have to go above and beyond, to try to reestablish that bridge. But don't go into it, thinking it's automatically gonna happen, because,
So some people really try like that. Some people really try to. I say the first 10 days of effort is there, and then after that, if they don't see any movement, and then that's a problem right quick. If they don't see any movement, then they step away and just be like, I tried. But one thing I've learned in growing up, you can't put a time on somebody else's feelings, and you can't put a time on how bad you damaged that person to make them want to receive that which you're trying to give them, because they're still hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And for real, to me, it really depends on the magnitude of the situation and what really happened. Because, like I said, you could talk all you want to, and then you could say, well, I'm going to give her flowers, or I'm going to do this for 10 days, and I'm going to try. And you fizz out. And you done spent mega money trying to love her back, and she just don't want that stuff. She wants to see you, what's that word, consistent.
Yeah.
And if you're not consistent, and you shoot out again. So to me, you're doing nothing but burning the bridge down further. So to me, it's hard to say, like, would that bridge be repaired? Because, again, when somebody bites you, my grandmother used to say stuff like, just be careful. You know what that person is capable of. So protect yourself, protect your heart. So my thing is, you don't always have to burn the bridge. You don't have to totally just leave the person alone. But you do have to know what that person is capable of, so that you won't hurt yourself, or you won't do yourself damage by reinserting this person into your life. Because I'm a true believer that some people are supposed to be in your life for just a little while, and then they supposed to go away. You might reconnect in another day, but this time they were only here to help you grow or help you move ahead and stuff like that. What's your thoughts?
So I will say this, everybody's gone through a little something, right? But I think what it would take is true change. So we're human, right? We kind of go through the same cycles.
True. Something
happens in a relationship. There's a fallout. Then there's another part of the cycle where there's a makeup, and it's a circle. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
So realizing you're in that cycle is one thing.
That's deep.
And then
that cycle.
Yeah, realizing you're in the cycle is one thing. And then understanding that you need to break that cycle in order to instill, or in order to show that person that you're serious about reestablishing this relationship.
I'm on that cycle thing. I don't want to move from that cycle thing. Simply because, I often say to myself, like, as much mess I've been in my life so far, there's a continuing thing that keeps happening. And I always say to myself, if it's still happening, then I'm not correcting it. I'm gonna keep getting that test.
Right.
So that's why I can appreciate when you say a cycle. It's a cycle because it comes back around again until you realize you need to pass this.
Right.
And so, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Humans are a creature of habit.
True. And they also call that narcissistic.
So we do what we feel, what we normally, or we do what we feel is right, but we don't understand we're in that cycle. So we're doing the same things over and over and over again, and can't understand why we keep getting in the same situation. But it takes some deep introspective thought. Really learning yourself and really being in tune with yourself, and knowing that you're in that cycle and where you're at in that cycle, so you can make that change to not be in that cycle.
So
it takes true change.
So yeah, and true change. So listen at this then. So what if you change, and now the person you burnt the bridge down with, you want them to see that you changed? Do you go make an effort to let them see that you changed, or do you carry on with your world, and if they see you, they see you. If not, then it is what it is. But do you chase down a person so that they can see your forward progress?
Well, I wouldn't put it in that perspective, like you chasing them down, because that kind of comes off as like you belittling yourself to appease somebody else.
Wow. Okay.
But like if you're really truly trying to reestablish a relationship, whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a spousal type thing, and you really truly want that relationship, you're going to do what you feel like you need to do to show that person that, hey, I'm not doing the same things I was doing before, and this is why. I went and talked to this person. I got this help. I talked to this therapist or whatever it may be. And these are some of the things that, that I want to bring to the table.
Wow.
So you got to show like that true change. If the person sees you doing the same cycle over and over again, they're not going to believe you.
So being genuine is a major part of it.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. Because again, we often say we've made a change, but again, if we haven't really been genuine about our change, then that change will, of course, be shown
Right.
Suddenly.
You know, going, getting flowers after every argument, or
Do you think that's
going
redundant?
I don't think it's. At some point, it doesn't. It's just not genuine.
Yeah.
Because it's a cycle.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't know. I mean, some of them are like flowers. Hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
I think it's a band-aid on the real problem at hand.
Yeah, I don't. I used to like flowers, but not for saying I'm sorry.
Right.
Because again, everybody don't like flowers, and again, I need to show different. So that's why I say, well, getting tangible things isn't really going to help. A good dinner and go out and talk would be excellent, But see, that's the growing and being grown up. And of course, I heard about some older Batua cats that take her out to dinner so she won't fuss you out too bad in public versus being home.
Yep.
She gonna light you up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's again in a relationship situation. But what if it's a homeboy or a homegirl, something like that, and you've burned the bridge? Do you think that there's a comeback?
See, that's tough. When you're talking about like a relationship like a spouse, I mean, there's a physical aspect to it. So, there's always a possibility in that situation. But like a friend, man, that's tough. I mean,
because a real man's mentality be like, F that,
It depends on the magnitude of what happened.
Okay.
We talking about, money.
Okay.
That's a big one. Like,
money is a big one. If you want to tell people, if you don't want to hang around with people anymore, they say lend them some money. So, yeah. So, I mean, that is a big one.
That's a big one. But you also got to be reflective of yourself, too. You can't be, just naive about things. Like, if your boy comes back and asks you for some money for a business, and your boy, that's your boy, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like, come on, like if you don't feel like that's a good move, but you lending the money anyway, some of the blame's on you.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
But as far as like, rebuilding that relationship, I mean, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just depends on the magnitude of what it is.
So, yeah, and so, like, I don't know if you saw it, but I saw, watching basketball, I saw that Shannon Sharp and Ja's dad had some words in public, of course, and it's all over the media or whatever. However, they did come back to one another and they shook hands in public and, squashed whatever it was that was going on, which I thought was very, very manly and mature. And some people don't like that. I mean, but to each his own. I just believe, it was, the whole thing was out of character for both of them. And when you out of character, that out of character thing can close and break down a lot of bridges.
Yeah. Because
people see you in a different light when you doing a certain thing that's out of character.
No, I can't speak on it because I haven't seen it, so I don't know the context of the whole situation. But, I mean, people can, end on good terms and still not deal with each other, People can still be respectful and shake on it, and that be it. We go our separate ways. No harm, no foul. Like, so yeah, I would have to like know what the context of the situation is and should like really kind of speak on it.
Well, I think it was just a misunderstanding of mouthing off and all this kind of stuff. But again, the thing I saw was just the bridge. I saw the bridging. I saw the bridge there. I saw the bridge collapse, and then I saw the bridge come back together. So that's what made me ask that question. Like, can people really put that bridge back together? And as you're saying, it depends on what it is, and the situation, what happened, and because honestly, is there a point where you won't, like, is there something that you can just honestly say, I'm gonna put a stamp on this. This is not. If this happens to me, I will not rebuild the bridge.
Oh yeah, infidelity.
Okay.
Large sums of money.
Okay.
We're doing a business deal. We put the partner up together, and the person does something unethical or does something that puts us all in jeopardy. Something like that.
Okay. How about and I did notice you have some things that you would not particularly allow that bridge to be built again. But then, how about that maturity word again? That come back to them after a certain while. Would you be able to face them again in public? Would it be rah-rah, or would it be just like maturity and I'm just not dealing with this person?
Maturity, because man, I'm a grown man. I don't got time you fight nobody, get into it like that. I'll leave that to people that ain't got nothing going on. So
yeah, I got you.
It'll be all it'll be respect, but if I see, it's not like I'm gonna go out of my way to come up to you and
yeah,
but it ain't gonna be no,
So like that dog mentality, like if you jump over the fence and the dog bites you once, is the dog's fault. Then if you jump over the fence again,
it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
So yeah, put it in that aspect. I'm not gonna jump back over there to let the dog bite me again.
Right.
Yeah, I got enough the first time.
Yeah. I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah, you felt it. That's right.
Yeah, so
Well, I know all of that hurts, and building relationships and building bridges, because that's what I think. It's a lot of pretty bridges out there that we can refer to and look at it and say, wow, it took a long time to build that bridge. It took strong cables to make this bridge stay up, and that's the way I look at relationships. Strong cables, which means we done been through some things.
Mm-hmm.
The thickness of the rope, you gotta have tough skin sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And most of all, the smooth roads. You're not always gonna have smooth roads on bridges, because some bridges open. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have that grade up there where you go and you be riding real smooth, and then you get on that little part that open and go. So that means sometimes your relationship's gonna be rocky.
Right.
So so it's just difficult for me in the subject, because I always say I don't know what I'll do until I get in it. Mm-hmm. However, I think me I think I'm all right. With people like I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. The only bridge that I wouldn't allow to be built back up is a bridge that hurt me physically. That's the only bridge that I think that I would not allow to happen again. Even if a person is sorry for what they've done, putting your hands on somebody or hurting them is not an excuse for anything. If you need to leave, then go. If you need to put your hands on somebody, then you need to remove yourself from the whole situation. Because again, like I said, it's not a great bridge if the bridge haven't been through something.
Right.
And that builds that's where best friends come from. That's where
every relationship is gonna have its up and downs. Think about when you take your vows.
Yeah.
To death do for better for worse, to death do us part, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a relationship.
It is. It's a relationship.
It's gonna be some rocky times, but there are points of no return though too.
Yeah, there is points of no return, and like I said, the good thing about a bridge again is I want to make the rules to about where I will cross or where I won't cross, or what I allow to happen for that bridge to be built again or not. In other words, if you don't have any standards, if you don't have any rules by which you need to live your life by, but you'll let anything cross you and hurt you.
Right.
So
you gotta have standards.
You gotta have your standards. So you keep going back to get hurt, you foolish. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You want to keep returning to that. I know the Bible says something about vomit. What is a dog to return back to his own vomit? Who wants to do that? I don't want to keep going back to that. So I want to have a better life. So, I learned, I seen, I want to do better. And that's what it is. So that's where I'm at.
They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
Over and
expecting
over.
different results. It's just not.
It's just not happening. It's you're not going to get a different result, even with a different person.
Oh, that's key.
Yes, it is. Even with a different person, if the same traits run true, you are still not going to get different results.
Right.
If you're choosing a certain person in your life, and every time your friends can say, "Dang, you got a different person, but they look like such and such, they act like such and such," you just repeated. So you got something going on with you,
right?
That you need to get rid of. Yes,
and that's key. People gotta understand
reflection.
You gotta be able to be self-aware.
Yep.
And have that self-reflection and understand who you are as a person.
True.
Because it's not the other person isn't in a cycle. You're in a cycle.
Wow.
And you have to figure out for yourself what you need to do to break your cycle.
That's right.
Because you keep doing the same thing over and over. You might have good intentions. You might not even realize it.
True.
But we're human. We're creatures of habit, and we tend to do the same things over and over.
Yeah.
Until we understand and break that cycle.
Wow. So that's so much said, man. So much said about, like I
therapy.
said. Yeah, it is therapy for your soul.
Everybody needs a therapist.
Yeah. But if you gotta be humble enough too to accept somebody telling you about something that they see on. Yeah. Nobody really wants to be told about themselves. You don't want to tell about your downfalls. I don't got time to be hearing you say what it's. But if you want to make your life better, if you want to do better things, if you want people to reach down from high places and pick you up with them, there's some changes that's got to be made. Everybody's not perfect. And in fact, before we, raise up out of here, just because people are in high places don't mean that they don't have issues.
Oh, no.
So sometimes sometimes a low person in a lower position can help somebody in a higher position, and vice versa. Our thoughts of being around someone else that's higher, like they're everything and they can do all things. Don't put them in that position because they got issues too. So
yeah, I mean, you could look at all the celebrity, suicides, like was it Anthony Bourdain, Robin Williams, what's the dude that just the dancer, So it don't matter where you are as far as status or whatever. People got issues, man. True. Everybody got issues.
True.
And you got to work through them,
Yeah, do your best and
get some professional help.
If not, talk to a homeboy, homegirl that you know that.
Somebody,
Yes, sir. So this is the end. We hope you all enjoyed. You have a great day. This is Beyond Jay's Cuts.